quickly, so it could be played as a support. But Shadow Fiend, I do like that ban of one of the more popular mids right now. Very strong, a lot of magic damage. Have his lane won by Clockwork and Sky, and that's a hero you really don't want to be going up against when he's kind of gotten a good start.
Dire team ban.
Juggernaut, though, then banned out by DD. Juggernaut with the Naga, pretty good combo. Net, spin, lots of damage.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Third bans. I like that they got rid of the PL, another one of those popular heroes. Nature's Prophet has kind of had a spike in popularity. We'll see if and this is, I believe, best of 2. I don't know that this is the playoffs yet. Sorry, one sec. All right, just double check and make sure I don't
Radiant team
myself. Tidehunter, though, banned out by Toxic Idiots. Would have been a fine offlaner to go with the DD's team. I think there's a fair amount of kill potential there. Very hard to kill him off too. He can break out of the net thanks to Kraken Shell. Even Beastmaster War can be dispelled by the Kraken Shell. So there's quite a lot.
10 seconds remaining.
It's just a hard hero to kill, not to mention AoE, the Ravage.
5 seconds remaining.
Game-winning spell. It's so difficult to play around and position yourself against. Forces your cores to get BKBs pretty early, even if you're ahead. And a lot of times, if you're really ahead, you won't go for those BKBs, so you can continue snowballing.
Dire team pick.
But in this case, Tide is removed, and so is the Templar Assassin. Toxic Idiots with the first pick in this next phase. Looking for another support, I imagine, and an offlaner. Or sorry, not an offlaner. Another support in their other
10 seconds remaining.
Safe lane, although they could run Naga as a core.
Radiant team pick.
Disruptor as their next support. So they have a lot of good control, good setup for the Disruptor ult with the kinetic field. The Naga song can set things up. Toxic Idiots do have a really lethal team fight already with just their first 3 picks. The DD have devastating pick-off potential, and that's
10 seconds remaining.
That kind of clashing of styles where one team
5 seconds
is
remaining.
all about pick-offs, where DD, I mean, just from
Dire team pick.
Pick-off there. Abaddon even decent at it. Well, again, more single target damage, very tanky, very survivable. But Toxic Idiots have great team fight, and not just team fight, but really good tower pushing as well. Abaddon, of course, going to help shore up that weakness.
10 seconds remaining.
Giving everybody some attack speed to beat down on those towers a little bit faster.
5 seconds remaining.
So DD are going to be just fine on that front, but with Beastmaster Aura and Naga Illusions and Beastmaster Army, it's pretty fast pushing coming out from Toxic Idiots. Now waiting for their 4th pick. They're going to be looking for a mid and a safe laner. If they want to go more into the team fight, they could pick up Luna, very popular right now. Powerful AoE, pushes very, very well. Synergy with the Beastmaster. Lots of kill potential in that lane if they go Naga, Disruptor, Luna together. It lane's okay against the Abaddon. There's really nothing I can think of that lanes particularly well against Abba. He's very hard to kill. Bit of a lane bully too with his Robotic Shield. The Mist Coil can be used to CS aggressively. So he's kind of hard to beat out of lane anyway. It is a bit of uncontrollable damage coming from the Luna, though.
Radiant team pick.
Thinker! Grab a Thinker. Speaking of uncontrollable damage and really good team fight, not to mention the split push potential. However, in the early game against the Sky, against the Clock, they certainly had ways to deal with him, and DD immediately grabbing an Outworld Devourer. That will help their team fight a little bit, and not only that, but more single target kill potential, and more lockdown too. They have a lot of ways to control one target just from the Sky Silence and the Banish. Those two things could remove heroes like Tinker from the fight.
10 seconds remaining.
More importantly, remove Naga Siren from the skirmish before she can get that song
5
going.
seconds remaining.
This could really hinder Toxic Idiot's game plan. But with the Tinker, that's a lot of AoE damage, a lot of spam damage coming out from Toxic Idiots. And again, more tower pushing, something they're going to be very good at doing. Looking for their one position for Toxic Idiots. I really like Gyro, and I really like Luna for them. Luna I would value more. Her aura goes great with the Beastmaster. Lots of kill potential in lane, but Gyro certainly not bad.
Radiant team
And
banned.
Anti-Mage being removed by Toxic Idiots DD. I think they should ban the Luna, although they could probably pick Luna themselves as well. I'm trying to think if there's like a hero in the pool that perhaps is better for DD than either
10 seconds
like Luna
remaining.
and Gyro.
5
With Juggernaut
seconds
and
remaining.
PL removed, I'm not so sure. Anti-Mage also gone, but I don't think this would have been a very good Anti-Mage game. Against Disruptor, against Beastmaster, against Naga, even Tinker, it's very difficult to survive as an AM at that point, I think. DD waiting for their final ban. I do think they should ban out the Luna. They could not. They could ban out Gyro and then pick Luna for themselves, though. Toxic Idiots would like either of those heroes, I think. They farm fast, they push well, they have kill potential in their lanes. They fight early. Gyro fights a little bit better early than Luna. Luna relying on her own.
Radiant team
But they're going to
pick.
take out the Faceless Void instead. Now DD, we'll see what they want to go for. The Faceless Void could have been fine for them too, I think. They could have picked that on their own. OD
Dire
fine with
team
that,
pick.
but they're going to grab for themselves Medusa. Going for the ultra late game, and DD looking fearsome going late. My concern is that they won't be able to get there. However, they certainly have the heroes to create that space. The Abba, the Clock, the Sky. Very strong early fighting heroes, and can definitely create all the space in the world for that Medusa and Toxic Idiots.
Like, choose
one of those
wisely.
pushing heroes. Well, I think he'll struggle a little bit in lane against the Abaddon. I do believe that he will be. I do like the pick. Lycan is very, very good right now. Very, very popular. I always seem to forget about that hero. But I personally, I love watching Lycan. He's rather cooldown dependent, but the rest of his team, not quite as much. Gonna synergize well with the Beastmaster, and losing a fight to Toxic Idiots is losing towers, losing objectives. Roshan gonna be on the chopping block for them. DD not terrible against Roshan either. 1 sec, I hear that my mic is fucked up.
10 seconds remaining.
So I will try to fix that.
5 seconds remaining.
So again, working on fixing the mic right now. I really hope this mic didn't break. Settings, audio. Okay, let's see. I messed around with it a little bit. So we shall see if that fixes the problem at all. 1 sec, actually. Okay, I messed with it a little bit, and hopefully that fixes it. Not to mention, I did turn myself up. I really do apologize, and hopefully that things are a little bit better. Anyways, we are now getting into this first game on the Radiant. DD, Anna Sun playing Clockwork. Itachi playing Medusa. Abaddon being played by Adifex, the Beardbarian. Skywrath Mage being played by Jin. And OD by Young SCCC. On the Dire side, Tinker being played by 4AM. Kyrix playing Beastmaster. Naga Siren played by Scrub. Disruptor by X Shao, and Nick the Potato King playing Lycan. This is the first in what I believe is a best of 2. Adifex did just disconnect. Looking at the lanes, things are looking a bit better for the Dire, I think. No, sorry, the Radiant have slightly better lanes when it comes to the kind of activity we'll see.
The mid matchup is an interesting one, OD and Tinker. I think it is probably just barely Tinker favored, especially as he gets points in missiles. Or laser, I should say. Just Tinker you can't really lane against because of the... Well, you can't trade because of the laser. So OD going to struggle in that department, but most of OD's trading comes from the Astral Imprisonment anyways. Alright, so now we are unpausing. I do think that there's a lot of kill potential for the Radiant, but good defensive potential coming out from Scrub on the Naga Siren. Can throw out a defensive net. Meanwhile, Disruptor has Glimpse available. Kinetic Field also zones out heroes like the Clockwork who want to be able to pursue you with his Battery Assault, trap you in his cogs. Glimpse, I mean, Disruptor is just really good against Clockwork. So I do like that pick quite a lot, and it's going to be probably one of the more important heroes for the Dire, for Toxic. Pings coming out. They have wild axes. I don't know if they have the net yet. The axes do connect. He will take a little bit of extra damage. Blocked in by Scrub. Jin, this isn't where you want to be at all. He gets the Arcane Bolt. Probably should have got the concussive shot. Now the X coming forward. The net will latch. And this looks like it will be First Blood going to the Dire. One more hit will do the trick. And they do manage to find him. First Blood goes on the Beastmaster. But they will have to back off after that. Should be very content with that. Beastmaster going to be able to just grab his Brown Boost right away. I would have preferred to see him pick them up at the side shop as opposed to getting them delivered on the courier. Oh, great. Sorry, I'm having some technical issues apparently. Now Jin just getting harassed up by Scrub. I'm going to try to capture whatever kills he can. Caught in the net. It looks like this could be trouble for him. He should survive, but very, very low. A tower shot going to go onto Kyrex. And hopefully this fixes things. I'm doing whatever I can. Hopefully in game at least it works. I will be able to kind of doctor it a little bit better between games. It's going to be difficult to do so now during a game. Looking like they're running a 2-1-2. Abaddon should be just fine. Adifex having a bit of a better time in terms of just getting levels since Scrub is going to be soaking a lot of that XP. I would like to see Jin roam with this Clockwork. Anna and Jin, a lot of kill potential, especially once it gets level 2 and gets the concussive shot. Medusa, although I do understand why they want to be nearby her. There is some kill potential from these two, especially now that they get the Beastmaster Boar, or likely to get the Beastmaster Boar. Scrub with the Riptide as well. The minus armor going to stack up pretty quickly. Adifex is trying to chase down Ixchel. I am going to check on a mic issue real quick. The Rocket going to come out. Young SEC still alive, but taking so much damage from this Tinker. And Mountain Jin going to go down. And now Anna's Sun netted up. But Kyrex not going to be able to find anything extra. Or Jin finding Scrub, I should say. Salve going to be popped as well as a Clarity onto Kyrex. Kyrex trying to keep himself healthy and happy.
A gift from the Tempest of Battle.
Disruptor going to find himself a couple of bounty runes, get him a bit ahead. Sorry, I did just tab out. It looks like my microphone is working. Or at least my PC and all my metrics say it is. Clockwork ganking in the mid, or probably not really ganking, getting ganked. Anna very, very low. His battery is still saving him from Scrub for the time being. The Rockets will connect though, finding that kill for 4am. Not only that, 4am sitting on a regen rune and going to be going for the Boot of Travel as soon as he can. Scrub clears out a Riptide, a lot of damage on a young SCC. A couple right clicks, I should say, doing a bit of damage. And The Banish trying to lock him in, not able to get close enough to pop those cogs just yet. 4 AM, very low. Disruptor now TPing. Canceling it though. And Abaddon Adifex trying to trade up against this Lycan, but without his shield up, probably unable to do so. A lot of damage from Nick the Potato King. It's like I am having serious lag. And I apologize, I suppose. You know what? I have an idea.
Let's make this perfectly clean.
Voice.
A tribute to my house.
Microphone. You know what? I know what it is. I fixed it. All right, now it looks like I did manage to fix my mic issue in game. I am so terribly sorry. I plugged in a webcam to call my parents, and OD getting lasered down in the mid lane, and it changed my default audio device, and now it's Scrub getting caught in those cogs, but it actually looks like they might manage to get the Naga Siren, but in the March taking a lot of damage. Need to be cautious. A couple right clicks coming out, and Scrub will survive. But it did reset my default device. That camera has a built-in microphone, and it likes to violate my computer and does not ask for consent, and changes itself to the default recording device. So when I unplugged it earlier, it made it so that I could not speak. Adifex a little low, really wants to find borrowed time. Once he gets that borrowed time, he will be very safe, very happy. And now Clock down at the bot lane, spotting out this Beastmaster level 4 for Kyrex, I don't know. Kyrex, but Adifex having a fine time, gonna grab his level 6 before too long. But if we take a look at the CS, Lycan just behind this Medusa. Medusa sitting at the top, having a great lane for her. And now, speaking of great lanes, Ana in trouble. Scrub with a DD rune. Wild Axe is not enough mana. He could spawn a boar though, but it looks like he won't need it. A couple of right clicks will do the trick. The net does fly, and Kyrex finds that right click, killing him off, and rockets were flying in anyway. The borrowed time was just triggered. Hal Pop getting a little bit of extra health to the Disruptor.
Dire's bottom tower is
Net onto Naga with the DD rune. A lot of damage. That mana shield rank 2, so a fair amount of healing. Scrub taking damage. Needs to be careful. TP's from Sky. Could get himself in danger. Silenced for good measure. And things are going to be fine, it would appear. Scrub has some raindrops. I like what he did with these items a lot, by the way, against Skywrath Mage, who a lot of supports can't handle that damage coming from the Skywrath Mage early. If you get a wand and you get infused raindrops, Skywrath Mage loses a lot of his impact. However, Itachi, level 6 now, didn't get the Stone Gaze, got a point in the split shot. Up top, they're going onto Nick, the Potato King. He's caught in the cogs. He has the shapeshift popping it now. They need to be careful. They're trapped in the den with the wolf, and now he's tearing Ana apart, trying to run. The Disruptor pops the static field as well. Ana gonna get crit down. Adifex ult going, but now that it's ended, they're going after the Courier instead. The sheep eaten alive. The poor Courier. Meanwhile, at the bot lane, Kyrex taking some more harass. And that Lycan damage, once it gets that shapeshift, is insanely high. And now with lifesteal and some extra damage coming out from the Morbid Mask, gets a lot of sustain, can go into the jungle if he so pleases as well. The Dire are having a great start to their game. 3k gold at 8 minutes, 1-6. The Radiant do have very strong late game if they can get there. And before long with that Beastmaster aura, once he gets a couple points in it, once they get the Lycan a few levels, the push is going to be significant. Clockwork coming up top, the shield coming out, Scrub on his way as well, has a net, throws it forward, the Riptide gonna connect, Adifex's ult popped, and Scrub looks like he's the one that's in trouble. Maybe shouldn't have gone for that. The Abaddon ult is very short cooldown, and a Skywrath up here. And uh-oh, Wolf barely getting out of that, or sorry, that was his team's. He'll be just fine. He's very tanky. He's got 3 armor, 1200 HP. There's a net available to protect him. We just saw the kinetic field. Looks like they're going to go Shrine. Itachi now farming up the pulled wave. Getting harassed by Kyrex's Boar a little bit. Taking a look at the mid CS. OD a bit behind this Tinker, but not so much so that it's oppressive. However, level-wise, Tinker almost level 9, and his Boots of Travel are on the way. Anasung getting pinged out, the Thunderstrike coming out. The Glimpse actually moves him further away from them. How unfortunate, or perhaps fortunate, for Ana. Adifex, his ult just coming up now. A very difficult kill, this Abaddon. And if they can stabilize their lanes, and honestly, these 6 kills are fine. Ooh, man, Kyrex getting chunked down by that Mystic Snake. Oof. But it's not like it's deaths on the Medusa. It's mostly deaths on OD and Clock. Are pretty much all those deaths. And it's actually pretty much mostly Clock. King's coming out onto the Disruptor. If he gets slowed up, he could be in trouble. Pops a field, keeps himself safe. But at the bot lane, they're trying to find someone, but it doesn't look like they're quite able to just yet. Tinker down here now. The Mystic Snake bouncing between these heroes. A lot of damage coming out, and also going to restore a lot of mana to Itachi, allowing him to remain in lane a little bit longer. They can force out the Abba ult, and it auto-trigger. Yep, right, just like that. I believe it's auto-triggered at 400, and it looks like he was tanking creeps a little bit too much and lost his ult, but Jhin TPing in, no points in the concussive shot. I think a value point in it is very, very good. The 30% slow is significant, going right in, diving after them with those right clicks. So much damage. He Aphotic shields his teammate. His philanthropy is punished, not rewarded. Now it looks like Jhin himself could be in trouble. A couple more crits will do the trick. He's taking a lot of damage. Lycan with that shapeshift. A few seconds left. One more right click, and he does find him. A double kill for Nick the Potato King. Capitalizing once he realizes that Abaddon ult is down, and just slaughters 2 Radiant heroes. Perhaps I spoke a little bit too soon when I said it was stabilizing and things were getting okay. Now Kyrex does not have the mana to ult. If he did, they may be able to kill this Medusa, but even then 17 wand charges will make it very hard. An immediate banish from young SCCC onto this Tinker. Tinker with those travels, able to go assist his team wherever he's needed. Now aiming for a Soul Ring so that he can do that without running completely out of mana and keeping himself healthy, but the Clockwork taking up some of those marches. Lycan popping the Howl up top, giving him some good boost of damage. Couple right coming out. The Aphotic Shield doing a lot of damage. He's getting very, very low. A couple more right will do it, and Nice comes back, keeping him safe. And Exshal protecting Nick, but it could cost him his own life. Nick TPing back into the base. Exshal, that shield pop could be a kill, and yeah, the ult comes out. A right click, a flare will finish it. They have the Disruptor ult committed, but the Disruptor Adifex going to be mostly healthy. Meanwhile, Itachi finds, was that a solo kill on the Naga Siren? So 2 decent kills. It was just supports, but the Radiant are going to take whatever they can get. And very importantly, Medusa got a solo kill. She's sitting at the top of the net worth with 5k. Behind her, though, Lycan and Tinker are within a couple hundred gold of one another. Meanwhile, Outworld Devourer sitting on 3,500 net worth. He is the furthest behind of all of these cores. We'll see if he's going to be able to catch up.
Tower is under attack.
Of all of the mids and the carries, I should say, the offlaners are behind him still.
Dire's middle tower is
Thankfully
under
for him.
fire.
Kyrex goes forward. Scrub doing that Riptide. They're going to try to push. They don't have a point in the Beastmaster aura yet, but they should be able to push this pretty quickly. Itachi going to push down bot. Meanwhile, that ward getting spotted out, and they will finish it. denying a lot of information for the Radiant. They'll need to be careful. The Flare coming out trying to provide any knowledge for them that they can get. And Nick, just with that Howl, what's going to start chunking away, going for an Echo Saber. Just wants to get that maximum right click. And this, I see this quite a lot. You max Howl and Feral Impulse. The Hawk going to be farmed up by Ana, maybe. It's a pretty tanky bird. Ana just going to try to right-click to death. A good bit of gold for him, but Kyrex running it away, teasing him. They have 4 heroes up top, and they either need to do something with this or move their the other cores away. The Beastmaster specifically closing in on that Necronomicon, which did just get buffed. So, or did it get nerfed? Sort of both. Like a little bit of both, maybe, I'm not sure. Anyways, Beastmaster, once it gets that Necro, and they're smoked up with a Roar and a position where on the high ground they would see him. There is no vision here. His smoke has broken. He knows there's enemies in the neighborhood. Ana walking towards this Lycan. They do have full vision. The Mystic Flare is available. If they can lock him down, the Roar does connect us, so he's not going to be able to stay, but the Cogs do come out. Jhin going to have to try to run away. The Neck going to connect onto him, but Nick very low. The laser blinding Adifex. Kyrex finds a kill onto Skywrath. Skywrath, they're almost going to get Nick. Nick will eventually go down. It takes some doing, but they did it. And Medusa glimpsed away, screaming into nothing at the bot lane. Just standing up on her pedestal, shouting into the void, but they do lose the Lycan. A good kill for them, but it looks like they will lose this tower as well. Kyrex now with a point in the aura. They should be able to find this tower. With the next wave, they'll find this tower. That was 3 for 1. But the gold lead is starting to shift back a little bit. A lot of that has to do with the Medusa being as farmed as she is, as Hachi already completed a Mask of Madness, and I believe that's Dragon Lane's on the way. Echo Saber done. Kyrex TPing out will be able to get away without Clockwork's hook shot, which she is only level 5. No single target CC. Besides, actually, yeah, they don't have a lot of stuns besides the Banish. The Cogs and the batteries still are plenty. And doing what he can here. Jhin teasing this Naga Siren a little bit. Adifex going to be going for a Vlad's. The damage on the Radiant is very, very high, and once it gets late game, the best crowd control is killing enemies. So we'll see if they're able to do that. BKB, Lycan, maybe forced to go for it, but he's going for a Desolator, just wants to push. The desperation push builds, and now, or not even desperation, a lot of just sheer right-click damage coming out from him as well. Kyrex smoked up at the bot, has a Roar. They might want to try to find this Medusa. Itachi may, though, break that smoke from the low ground. He's running up down level 14. Force Staff done. I really like that he picked that up. Naga Siren getting a little low. If they find Itachi, I think they can kill him. But the smoke is broken. They do see this Medusa. He has a Force Staff, has a mask. I don't know if they catch him, and Nick's trying to push. There is a Roar available. There is a Shapeshift available. Hookshot also now online. And Ana needs to be careful. Traps himself in, gets roared up, and now he's just getting shredded by this Lycan. A lot of damage. The Howl coming out, getting him low. They will kill that, but need to be careful not to get turned to stone. This 2 creeps already turned to stone. Lycan trying to shapeshift, but unable to do so. Now popping it, wants to get onto Itachi. Itachi has his Mask of Madness, has some damage. The Necro creeps coming out, getting him low, gonna drain up his mana. Jhin getting chunked to death, eaten alive. Uncooked chicken for this Lycan, and now TP's coming in from the Tinker. You're gonna try to find Itachi. He force staffs himself away, immediately tries to TP, but do they have the damage? They don't! Just barely slipping away. Like the sneaky snake she is, Medusa narrowly survives.
Radiant's bottom tower.
A heavy commitment for what turned out to be just a couple supports, but DD going to be incredibly content with that.
Radiant's bottom tower has uninvited guests. Radiant's bottom tower is
Rocket Flare trying to keep the wave shoved out as much as they can, try to keep those creeps weakened, but I believe he only has the 1 point in the flare, so
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Nick farming up pretty nicely, still a little bit behind the Medusa, just about 1k, but closing in on a Desolator. Has the point in the Wolves now, can use those to scout. Hook shot, not latching. Banish coming out, Rocket taking his a blink and a soul ring. Now this Tinker very content spamming out that rearm, getting those marches going. It's going to be really hard to defend this. Disruptor also lurking, trying to find a kinetic field, a static storm. But the Radiant DD opts to split push, try to find objectives elsewhere, get farm on their Medusa, get farm on their Abba, instead of trying to defend this. The silence does come out onto Disruptor. A net flying out onto the OD. OD, no defensive advantage. The Roar flying out as well. Lycan popping the house. So much damage. The Static Storm comes in onto Medusa. It's a disaster now. The ult coming in from the Skywrath Mage is not going to do a whole lot of damage. Scrub getting out of there. Itachi very, very low. Glimpse back onto him. He has no ult. He has no mana to pop that ult. He's just going to take a lot of damage. Nick the Potato King trying to chunk him down, but he is alive for the time being. The mana shield buying him so much time, but they lose Scrub. Scrub going to get killed off by Itachi. Now Tinker lurking in the trees, doing whatever damage he can. He needs to be careful. Itachi right clicks very, very hard. Looks like they will have to back off. OD for the Naga Siren and a tier 1 tower. The Dire not getting everything that they were after, but I got a fair bit. Killing that OD, keeping him down a little bit. He's starting to catch up in that net worth, but just starting, really. And they did get that tier 1 tower, just losing their Naga Siren, and Meteor Hammer almost done for Scrub. That's such an insanely good item for Naga Siren. He has the max net, so it's 5 seconds, and if you don't have like a defensive banish, or you're like a Skywrath Mage, or you're Clockwork, or Abba even. Actually, Abba might be okay. Closing in on that Radiance for him actually changed his mind from that Vlad, seeing that he's doing it just fine on farm and in levels. Speaking of levels, Medusa level 15, pretty impressive. Lycan only level 12. So Medusa is winning on a couple fronts here. Highest net worth, highest level. Now Medusa trying to farm these ancients up a little bit. Sorry, my stream appears to be stuttering a little bit according to my little stream health monitor. Hopefully that's just a blip. TP now coming in from the Tinker, but they don't have like a scythe onto him just yet. The best they can hope for is to get some harass, and I don't think they can get ad effects. And Itachi here now throwing out a Mystic Snake, getting riptided, losing some armor. The net gonna fly out onto him. He does have the ult if he needs it, and the ad effect's gonna purge off that net. Meanwhile, Clock spotting out some enemies, has a hook shot available, but I don't know if he wants to go in on that. Nick, if he gets slowed up by this Abba, and speaking of people slowed up by the Abba, Tinker going to immediately push back, going on to ad effects. The hook going to fly out. Perfect hook from Ana onto 4am. The shapeshift coming out now. The Sonic, or the Medusa ult as well. The Skywrath ult as well. Beautiful static storm from the Disruptor. There's so much damage, but is it going to be enough? Lycan turned to stone and now shattered by this Medusa, but they lose the Medusa as well, and the Rockets will find it. A triple kill for Tinker. And really, that fight was won by this Disruptor. A beautiful static storm and an amazing kinetic field, trapping all those heroes inside there. So Tinker could just laugh and laugh and laugh with his March and his Rockets. But you lose that Lycan. The Wolf turned to stone, but it's a very good fight for them, sitting on a 3k lead. And now, with that Necro 3 done, Necro 2 I should say done, they're just going to be able to claim tower after tower. I suspect Roshan will be a target of theirs before long, as now the Blightstone is completed, or the Desolator is completed, as well as his Meteor Hammer. Significant fighting potential from the Dire now as they built their lead. Itachi going down there, devastating for the Radiant. He's really their bright spot in all of this. OD still fairly far behind. Was not in that fight. If he were, I don't know if that would have really made like the biggest difference in the world. And now this tier 2 getting shoved again. They're trying to find whatever they can. They have vision onto ad effects. His Radiance is completed though, so a lot more damage and a lot of that blind, but the Glimpse sending him home. But Kyrix getting low. The tower taking... he does survive. And the March just trying to keep things shoved. They will back off after doing that tower down about 2/3 HP. And it looks like they're going to plan to Shrine as a team. Looking at this gold graph, it's been mostly stable, but now Toxic's starting to pull away with it. They're starting to build that lead a little bit more, and we'll see if they're able to maintain that advantage. DD, who had an XP lead, thanks largely to that Medusa, lost it after that last fight as well. And I believe that tells even a bit more of the story than the gold. That XP, it was DD who were leading by a pretty healthy amount, I would say, by about 2k. But then suddenly they're behind on that now as well, so they're losing all those little advantages that they once had as Tinker, now sitting at the top of the net worth. Rockets flying out will connect onto the Clockwork. Mystic Snake bouncing. They're not able to keep pushing this as the Wave Clear is there. Scrub spotting out enemies, has a song. We'll see if he's going to try to set up for that Meteor Hammer. And they're just now with the Necro 3, the Beastmaster also the Max 4. They're trying to push forward as much as they can, but that Radiance and that Mystic Snake cleaning up those waves. The Meteor Hammer channeling. They're going to start chunking at this tower with it, and now the tower definitely going to go down. Scrub finding that last kill on that tower. Fort coming out a little bit too late. They wanted to try to time it up against the Meteor Hammer, but were unable to do so. And now I think the Dire should go for Roshan. Press your advantage even further. With your pushing power, an Aegis could clear the way to claim high ground, and especially with like a Beastmaster. Yeah, if they get an Aegis, that could clear the way for the high ground. They could get a lane of racks and not have to worry as much about what happens if this goes late game. You're doing great right now. Tinker scales really well. You push very fast also thanks to this Naga Siren. It looks like this tier 2, the last tier 2 going to fall.
Radiant's middle tower.
A Meteor Hammer being put to good use. The cooldown reduction on it from that last patch, significant.
Illusion.
So Naga making great use of it, and it looks like they are sitting in the pit. The Rocket Flare flying forward. They would have to try to defend this. I think they could kill Roche pretty quickly. Itachi has a TP, split pushing bot. I'm just going to TP away now. 4 AM going to throw out some marches, do what he can, and Medusa positioning up at the top shrine wants to make sure that Roshan gets claimed by her team, and they can kill it reasonably quickly. Sky and Clock do like nothing against it, but OD and Abba are very, very good at killing Roshan. Speaking of OD, he's going to buy a Hyperstone, maybe going to go for an Assault Cuirass, possibly a Moon Shard, we'll see. Adifex, though, with his Radiance completed, going to be looking for a Blade Mail. And I want to take a quick look at some of these talents these heroes are picking up. Adifex grabbed the move speed. I think he should go the 6 armor this game. It almost negates the Desolator. There's a lot of just stuff flying around. There will be Naga illusions. There will be Lycan wolves. There will be Lycan's right clicks. There will be just a bunch, and the Beastmaster army. There will just be a lot of stuff. The 6 armor, which he did grab, has a ton of value in this game. Medusa at level 18. Imagine there's zero reason to go for anything other than the 700 mana. The survivability boost you get from that talent is ludicrous. Meanwhile, the Dire, I want to see what their talents are. Tinker with the move speed and the spell amp. Very standard looking stuff. Beastmaster grabbing boar damage, which I do really like. And Lycan has himself his 20 damage talent. And now they turn their attention to Roshan coming aboard. He could throw the Necro. They do get hit by that rocket and the jump at the same time. And now it looks like they're trying to find whatever they can. The Radiance coming out. They pop the Howl. And they may have to back off of this. But Tinker positioning himself pretty aggressively. Blinks away, trying to put marches out so that they can't be seen or that they can't go forward onto this. Nick a little bit low. Does have lifesteal, but needs to be careful. Those Rocket Flares keeping eyes on Roshan. Clockwork, though, this ward trying to get dewarded. There is a hook shot available. They do kill the Observer, but not the Sentry.
Invisibility.
Looks like they do give up Roshan for the time being. Likely going to have to go for a pick off. Like, if they kill Clock, they can get Roche. Clock is the only real initiator. With the hook shot, Abaddon would have to run in it. Like, literally, he has to run in there. And the Ag's not completed on the Tinker. Makes team fighting exceptionally difficult. The laser bouncing, blinding OD and Medusa. The extra rockets coming in. It's going to be a huge problem playing up against this Tinker, especially in a small area like the Roche pit.
Radiant's bottom tower
5k gold lead now in favor of the Dire. Toxic slowly trying to maintain that lead with the XP now swinging back in favor of DD. Medusa now also at the top of the net worth, and OD pulling ahead of this Lycan, who's really stagnated quite a lot. He played very, very well in the lane, got himself a good few leads, but with so much movement happening on the map, he hasn't really had time to farm, to shove lanes in, to do jungle rotations, and he just feels like he hasn't been able to get much else. He's had this Deso for a while, does have a Sage now. Will likely want to go for a BKB. Just reduce the OD damage by quite a lot. Reduce the ripe out the Radiance. Makes Skywrath completely ineffective against you. And Skywrath also very, very poor. 1300 net worth on this guy. That's just depressing. It's like Roshan, they are turning their attention to it. Naga does have a song, so if an engagement comes out, we find the Tinker rockets flying forward. He's just trying to keep them zoned, keep them backed off, and now that there is no Blink Dagger, I don't know that they can actually engage on this. It's just the clock hook, and they need to body block that pit though. If Ana goes in, it will be the signal for his team to follow up. Scrub doing what he can, has a song again. Young SCC walking towards the pit, throwing a Rikers onto Nick, does miss thanks to that Tinker Laser. Ana a glimpse back onto Young SCC, brings back the low ground. The shapes are coming out from Nick. They want to find some more. Tinker just puking out those rockets low on mana. The Static Storm onto this Young SCC. He's getting very, very low. Will go down. The laser finishes him off. This Mystic Flare not doing anything just yet. Lycan, or Beastmaster jumps forward. The Axis cuts down the Skyrise Mage, but now the Stone Gaze coming out. Adifex doing some damage with that Radiance hookshot. Does connect onto Nick. Nick gonna go down. Pyrex in serious trouble, getting low from that Scotty from the Medusa. A lot of damage. They need to get away. Tinker needs to come back. Tinker needs to help these guys. Needs to help the team. A beautiful, a really nice kinetic field, but Itachi healthy. The rockets and the lasers could change that very, very quickly. A 1-for-2 exchange. Looks like Blade Mail Pop trying to bother 4AM. 4AM doesn't care. May actually try to go in for a kill on this Abba, but Abba gonna be just fine for the time being. And now Medusa turns her attention to Roche. This could be very bad. I don't know if she can do this. They spotted the song coming out. The axes are gonna miss because of that song. Now channeling the Meteor Hammer. Will it connect? It just misses. He does have a net though, and now the laser from the Tinker could have a lot of room to bounce the marching machines, but a lot of damage going out onto Beastmaster. Kyber's gonna go down, and his son though dies first, and Itachi will die as well. This opens the door for Roshan, who is extremely low. Only 1k HP on this Roche. The Naga's Meteor Hammer could be enough, and now she has a mech as well, which will help them win these coming fights. Lycan respawning also, the TP onto the Hawk. We should be able to kill this. Laser, and yeah, this is a dead Roche. A valiant effort trying to stop that Roshan from happening. And Nick comes in for the love tap, that last tick, gonna claim all the credit, claim the Aegis too. Looks like a net coming out onto Young SCCC. He has a Moonshard, the Meteor Hammer gonna latch onto him. The Static Storm for a good measure. There's so much hate onto this OD, and he's just wrecked. TP coming in from the Tinker. Going for a Scythe device, going to add that layer of control to his team. The March is now flying out, want to try to make their own base uncomfortable for them. And the gold grab just dipping further and further down. XP also plummeting once they killed off Itachi, who is the XP leader, I believe, in levels. 19 on him, 19 on OD as well. And now the Meteor Hammer going to come bother this tower, get a little low. Keep it from killing the waves, but they don't need any help killing waves. Tinker throwing out those rockets. Lycan trying to push forward with an Aegis, so he's not really that afraid. The Radiance taking him down a little bit. Skyra trying to cheese him as much as he can. The Mystic Flare flies, but the March finishes off Sky, but Lycan looks like he loses his first life. Wolves have 2 lives, it seems, but he's in his base all by his own. The Roar coming out onto Itachi. Turns the attention, popping the shape. Shimi Robert needs to run from this. They have this Stone Gaze, and it does connect, but Nick, turn and run. 4AM blinks away just in time. No ticks from the Radiance going to cancel that blink. If it did, he would have been in serious trouble. Looks like they do back off. They lose the Aegis in this tower at 15 HP. And the Wolf runs for it. Nick going to just love tap it. But now the Echo Saber still coming out to get it stunned up. We're now the Hurricane Pike. Lots of right on it. Nick Scrub pops the song. This tower is a love tap away from dying. And now the Meteor Hammer does connect onto Itachi. The shield's coming out, purging off that stun, and now Scrub getting extremely low. Nick also getting low. A lot of damage from the OD, but the blind stops all of it. Adifex, and they already lost the Medusa as well. Nick trying to fight up the Sandy's Eclipse, kills him off. Nick with the help of Jin. And Ana doing whatever he can, but it looks like it's just the end of his life too. 5 heroes dead just for this Lycan. With the Beastmaster still in the neighborhood, these towers are fragile. It's a total of a 2.2k gold swing going in their favor. XP also 8k, and GG is called. The push is a little bit too much to bear. This first game ends favoring Toxic Idiots. This is, I believe, best of 2. So there will be one more game, and it does give DD a chance to redeem themselves. They drafted for the late game, but unfortunately were just never able to make it there. Hope you guys are enjoying the cast, and I'm sorry for the in-game technical difficulties for the first, 7-8 minutes of the game. Hopefully those are resolved, and I hope that you are enjoying what you were at least able to hear if you're watching.